researchers at the University of Virginia are studying a therapy that could help you fight the virus until you get your shot.
News 3 reporter Zach Dahlheimer talked with the trial's leaders about what this could mean in the fight against COVID-19.
An ounce of prevention's worth a pound of cure.
Dr. Bill Petrie and others at UVA Health are studying an antibody cocktail manufactured by Regeneron. He says that can help prevent COVID-19.
How big of a resource could this cocktail be to help people against COVID-19?
What this does is it gives your immune system a head start. It's two different antibodies that are binding to two different parts of the spike glycoprotein. And so that makes it harder for the virus with a new variant to evade two antibodies.
The antibodies are the same ones given to former President Trump in his COVID-19 recovery.
It may even just be something that could be prescribed by a physician, and so you would give it to yourself at home. You wouldn't even need to come into the hospital.
Petrie tells us this therapy can be a stopgap until everyone has been vaccinated.
This is pretty much a standard approach now that patients can administer the antibodies themselves. They sort of come in like pre-filled syringes, and you basically can inject it into the skin over your abdomen or in your thigh, just like you would inject insulin. This is an approach to take to prevent infection, especially if you're in that situation, maybe your spouse or your partner has COVID-19 and you're trying to care for them at home and you don't want to, of course, run the risk of you yourself getting infected.
Petrie tells us they started enrolling patients for a phase 3 clinical trial last summer. More than 3,000 people took part, including those from African American and Latinx communities ages 18 to 65, and eventually adolescents ages 12 to 18. According to a new analysis from Regeneron looking at outcomes in 400 people, of 223 who got a placebo, 8 developed symptomatic COVID-19. And of 186 people who got antibodies, none developed symptomatic COVID-19.
They're followed very closely to see if they develop the infection for the first month. And then we continue to follow them to be sure there's no safety problems long term. And so patients in our study will be followed through June.
After the trial wraps up, Petrie says it's expected that the therapy will be presented to the FDA for approval. Zach Dahlheimer, News 3.